Storm. It's a big difference this time, possibly the best conditions we've ever had for big fish and numbers of fish. The qualifying days certainly bear that out. This is third day action. We got 10 pros, 10 co-anglers. The pros, of course, trying to make it to the final 5 who'll fish for the championship. Leading the way into today's action, Clark Wendlandt of Cedar Park, Texas. Jerry McInnes is with him now.
Clark, I think this far down in the game, there's no secret. Most everybody is seeing the fish that they're casting at.
Yeah, most people are. You know, there's just so many fish on the bank, and we got a full moon in March, and anywhere in the south, those fish are going to be up spawning. So we're just, you know, I'm going down the bank until I find a fish that I think I can catch, and then I'll try to figure out how to catch it.
Are there certain things about the bank that makes you stop and look there, or are you just really looking everywhere?
I'm looking everywhere right now. There's got to be something in the water, a rock, a stump, a dock, or something. They don't want to spawn just around nothing, so you got to find a little something, but it could be anywhere. You know, there's little things everywhere. So the wind will play a big part today. There's too much wind, you don't have very much visibility, so we'll have to find, you know, protected banks to catch them on.
And Clark, the casual viewer is thinking, my gosh, you can see them, they'll be easy to catch.
Yeah, sometimes they take quite a bit. It's a lot of it's aggravation, trying to figure out what, you know, every fish has got a little deal that'll make them bite, and you got to figure it out, and it just comes from experience, learning how to do it.
All right, well, Clark Wendlandt is just about to head out of here. He won't be going far, just around the corner, basically, a place called Beards Creek. We'll also be covering David Dudley of Manteo, South Carolina. He's fishing even closer than Clark, just out there on the point. We have 2 anglers today we'll be covering who are fishing near the dam, a place called Jake's Point. That would be Carl Sweebeck of Lake Sam Rayburn, Texas, and the legendary Shaw Grigsby of Florida. Both those guys fishing down near the dam there. One other angler, the very first champion on the Walmart FLW Tour, Mike Sermon. We'll be watching him today in action in a place called Johns Creek. Now, the 5 other guys whom we won't be seeing until weigh-in time would be John Sappington of Oklahoma, Andy Morgan of Tennessee, his first appearance in the top 10 in a long, long time, Kobe Krieger of Indiana, Gary Klein, another bass fishing legend, will be in the top 10 today, and Mickey Bruce, a winner last year at Lake Lanier in Georgia.
The Coleman boat is cleared for takeoff.
Well, I've been fishing all week with spinning rods, an 8-pound line, using a little finesse worm with a 32nd ounce weight. And I've been using a trick worm, catching some of them on a trick worm and wacky style and straight. I've just been casting out kind of around behind the boat while other guys are sight fishing.
Well, that's David Hudson's take on things. David Hudson, the co-angler partner of Clark Wendlandt right there.
And these guys can see these fish, Tommy, but
It's just the wind that's getting me.
you know, they can't see them enough to really know how they react.
Yeah,
They
it's
can't
not
take
bad.
their
That glare's not
temperature.
bad, but that wind is, that ripple over there, that makes it pretty interesting.
Now, Clark is maybe one of the best there is at this sight fishing. We got several guys here that are pretty good today, but he's actually proven himself in other tournaments that he is tough at this
Good job.
technique. And, you know, the real touchy thing here, Tommy, of course, that
All right.
everybody has to abide by the rule that
mouth.
these fish must strike the lure. You have to catch them in the mouth. You can't accidentally snag one.
About 3.5 pounds, that's a good way to start. Great deal. Thank you.
Good job.
We're moving right now. Well, that took 14 minutes. If I can catch everyone in 14 minutes, it'd be a great day.
Oh, man, that's a good one. I'm gonna turn this out. All week long, I've just been covering a lot of water, and covering a lot of water with the wacky worm. And then once I find one on the bed that's worth catching, I'll put on this little little tube bait and throw up on the bed and entice them into biting. So that's pretty much how my week went. I got very little practice coming into the tournament, and so I've got a day and a half to come out here and fish. So right when I came out, I think I ended up catching like 3 or 4 fish. And so at that time, I determined that, you know, that was what I was going to do to fish it. This is what I enjoy doing, so I decided this was what I was going to do. So I did it, and the first day I caught half and half on the beds, half on the worm, and that's what I had the big sack on, 23 pounds, and came on that bait. We've got the sun right behind us, and you can always just see those guys so much better when that sun is back behind you. They kind of light up in like a Christmas tree in this clear water.
Clear water, that's the key word here today. And this time of year in the springtime, it's amazing, but it's true. You can almost pick your guys who are going to be near the top, the best sight anglers. Guys like this man right here, Carl Sweebeck, Clark Winlett, the Hibdons, Dion,
and
Guido
how about Shaw Grigsby?
Absolutely.
This is probably a 2.5 pounder, maybe a 3 pounder, but it looks more like a 2.5 pounder. It's real hard to tell in the water. I'm normally pretty close or under judging them. So I'm gonna say it's a, oh, there he is. I got that one. Come on, darling. Okay. There you go, partner. Thank you, Lord.
Good job.
Thank you. I appreciate it, Jeff.
Good job.
So thank you, Lord. That's the first one. Now we get to pull out all my paraphernalia and go to culling and doing all that, which is part of this game because you can catch so many. But the good thing about sight fishing is you don't have to catch every one you see. You can leave a lot because you can judge them. You can say, no, that one isn't going to help me, or yes. But right now, the first 5 in the morning, I'm going to test it out here. So he's a 2.5 pounder, and that's where we start. And that makes it kind of easy to start off, and I don't think 2.5 pounds is going to make it. These guys are really good, and they're catching a lot of fish, and I've just been catching kind of a medium stringer every day. What I really need are 3 pluses, but for right now, I'm going to take 5, get where I can get, and go from there. So that's kind of the bottom line.
The FLW Tour is brought to you by Walmart. Always low prices, always. By BF Goodrich, take control. By Black & Decker, proud sponsor of the Walmart FLW Tour. And by Energizer. Energizer batteries and flashlights, the power to keep going and going.
Mike Sermon is a busy guy. He's got his lure company. He's got what you might call a day job that keeps him very, very busy as well. And no wonder we hadn't seen you out here in a while, Mike, but did you expect to do so well here at Lake Murray?
Well, Tommy, not really. The good thing about this lake, though, is there's just so many big fish in it that if you get a little bit lucky and catch 1 or 2 of them, anybody can jump up to the top 10. And
boy, you messed around yesterday and hit the jackpot, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. I actually got lucky on my very first or second cast in the morning. I caught a 615, which was big fish for the day, and it just yeah, it was a great way to start. And then I kind of jumped around and caught a few more, and I had a great partner yesterday, and I struggled a little bit. I couldn't find the size fish that I wanted that would hold on the bed, so we passed up quite a few, and then finally found another 6-pounder and caught it. And so I just kind of jumped around all day looking for fish. So
and you haven't found one of those yet today, huh?
I really haven't found. I've seen a couple, real good fish, 6 or 7 pound fish, but they're not holding. They're cruising. And then I did find 2 fish that we worked on for 45 minutes, and one of them, the male, was probably a 2.5 pounder, and the female was a 5 or 6 pounder, and worked on it for a long time and never could get it to bite. So.
What do you, when you say I worked on it, what is that exactly does that mean?
Well, what I did with that fish is I started out, I've been catching most of my fish on a bacon rind, and you just kind of pitch your most productive bait, if you will, into the bed, and you kind of watch how the fish reacts to it. And those 2 particular fish, I threw into them numerous times with a bacon rind, and they didn't do anything really. They just kind of sat there. They didn't get excited at all. So I switched to a jig. Same thing with the jig. They didn't get excited at all, so switched to a tube, and they didn't get excited with the tube, so then I switched to a lizard. So I just kind of went through the whole gamut of products, trying to find one that they, you know, will turn on or make some kind of movement that will show you that they're at least a little bit aggressive. And I never could get those to do anything.
Holy smoke! Look at the two giants right there. There's 2 females with them.
There's what?
There's 2 females, and the male is still sitting on the cotton picking bed.
Yeah, I told you there was 2 fours in there, I thought.
Man, there's 2 of them.
I never did see a little buck you talking about.
Got it.
A little buck?
Yeah. What's done happened here is I kind of ran out of fish. I come in this little calm pocket, and this is the small one. This is actually the buck, and there's 2 females about 4 pounds with her sitting on the bed. Now, hopefully what will happen is I'm gonna put her in a line where hopefully the females will move back on to protect the bed now.
Jerry, explain to us why they're catching the male bass first.
You know, those male bass a lot of the time are so much more aggressive than the females, and of course the male bass are maybe the first ones in, and they pair up, and the female will make the bed, and then the male will stay there to protect the eggs and the fry, and that's why they're a little more aggressive.
See that fish with him?
Mm-hmm.
It's a gizzard shad.
Shad, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a gizzard shad. Never saw a shad trying to eat a bass.
No, that's weird.
That's kind of a switch. Good job, bud.
Thank you. Get that bacon, Ryan. Just had to get it in there. That was the first fish I've seen that actually would hold a little bit. Thank you very much. You got that aerator turned on?
You bet.
Taking care of the details. So I'm shaking right now. First fish of the day. Caught him on a little spider grub. Actually, it's called a, what is this thing called? I don't know what it's called. It's called a grabber grub. That's what it's called, a grabber grub. Generic is spider. Don't ever bite your line, by the way. Bad for your teeth.
The Walmart FLW Tour, Lake Murray in Columbia, South Carolina. We are sight fishing today. And Jerry, it didn't take a special pair of eyes to see these fish, does it?
No, but catching them is something else. Tommy, get to thinking about this. There's been 300 people that have maybe seen the fish that Clark just caught right there, but catching them really does take an art. Now, they're looking at them, and they're watching which way they're facing, and when they pitch a bait in on them, they're looking at how they react. They can almost tell that this fish is going to strike or this fish is not going to strike, and Tommy, they'll actually leave fish if they think they're catchable.
Mr. Troy called it right. He said throw that ninja jig on there, and he ate it. He was definitely getting mad.
I don't like old ninja.
No, he didn't. Well, that's 2.
Here's the thing about sight fishing. Nothing more exciting than seeing that fish in the water, but to catch him, you've really got to focus. You've got to tune everything around you and take it, tune it out. Don't think... Oh!
Oh! Woo!
That's what I call cold water.
Well, Tommy, he was focused. What do you say?
He was all the way in there.
Hey, for some reason, our mic is cut out on
Yeah, I
us.
wonder.
What is this?
How is that?
Now I need to catch
boy.
this.
Well, you know, there are reasons we have replay machines, and this is certainly one of them. He goes down perfectly, a left-sider. That's what we call that. You just sort of brush the trolling motor on the way down. David Dudley, ladies and gentlemen.
So that looked like it chased it.
Come out of the bed behind it.
Yeah.
Catch it. Over here.
Not very big, but it's a keeper.
It's a caught fish. Old Ninja strikes again.
Yes, sir.
The Ninja catches everything, the net and the fish. All right, think you catch the other one?
Not a bad little fish, but not a whale, that's for sure. I don't know if that female moved back. That was the male.
There were two of them right there together.
Well, as you notice, there are beautiful homes all around the lake there. That is much to the advantage now of David Dudley, who needs to just borrow some clothing for a little while.
Tommy, can't you imagine this guy sitting up on the porch saying,
eating a cereal?
Hey, Myrna, there's one of them professional fishermen out there.
That's what it could be. There could be two, and what I saw was another one out. There he is. I got him. It's a little guy, but I'll take him. Oh, little jump.
Which side you want?
Well, let's just take him whatever side we can get. Here, we're going this side. This looks like the better side.
He said come this way.
Did he?
Yeah. I'll get my
Did he? All right. That's okay. Ready? You are the man. That's two. Thank you, Lord. Boy, man, that's a little guy, but I'll take little guys today. I'll take anything right now. This has been one tough day.
That same fish roll?
I'm pretty positive it is. But I'm telling you, usually I don't have half this type of problem, but you know, it's part of life. That's 2.5 pounder. So I probably don't need to mark any of these, but I just lay that in there. Let him go swimming in the live well, keep him all nice and happy, so we can let him go. Move your stuff just a minute, okay?
David Dudley is back in business here, Jerry. I guess he's ready to get focused again.
Well, you talk about focus. Imagine how focused that fish is. All that commotion, everything that's going on, boy, he has not given up his spot under the dock.
Still right there.
If this fish only knew what he made me go through to catch him, he'd be proud of me. Boy, he won't get off. If he only knew what I had to go through to catch him. But I appreciate it, though. Yeah. I can't believe that.
But I can't catch him.
Tommy Clark
under the
Whitland
hose,
is
so
really
I got
working
only
on a
one
tough
choice.
one here. There's a bass in the middle of the deck there. See
gonna
those
just jerk and hold
4x4s
on
right
and
in
hope I
the
can get him
middle of
off
that is a fish. And to see him,
I'm gonna hook him.
or to
I'll hook
pitch your
his
bait
bass.
in
I
on
don't know
top
if I
of
catch
him,
him or not.
Clark is throwing over that plastic pipe laying on top of the water. Well, it didn't last too long, did it? We certainly appreciate Clark showing us what was underneath there. Doesn't look too happy about it, though, Tommy.
No.
I got him over the hose, but then he came off.
As we take another look, the thing you got to remember is what these guys hate the most, these top pros, is to lose a fish. Man, that's some extenuating circumstances there. He had a tough place to get him out of, but Clark disappointed nonetheless.
He's saying that tube packed a little punch.
Shaw Grigsby is having an incredible year, and man, it just keeps rolling and rolling, doesn't it, Shaw?
Well, it's been amazing. I don't know if it's rolling. It may have come to a screeching halt today.
Well, you say you're having a little bit of visibility. You're having trouble finding water clear enough to see these bass?
Well, no, it's, you know, there have been some problems in some of the pockets, and then some of the fish have been real tough, and I just haven't caught much today. So it's been a different day. I just pulled up on one, made one cast, about a 3-pounder eats me, and I set the hook, and he's around a stop, and I lose him. So it's one of those days. But I tell you what, it's been wonderful, and it's great just to make a top 10, and I'm excited, and we still got a lot of time left.
I don't know anybody out here that probably is any more serious than Shaw, but man, he has a good time out there.
Yeah, always.
Shaw is just going fishing.
You can feel one of those rare people. You can see the joy of fishing in everything he does.
Shaw, we were talking this morning about you and I fishing down a little creek for 3/4-pound red eyes, and we were having a big time, weren't we?
Yes, we were. You know, I tell you what, Jerry, we've come a long way since then. But
we sure have.
Everything from the Swanee bass to the, you know, just fishing and having a good time. But boy.
And you know, let's hear your take on it, Shaw. Bass fishing in general has come a long, long way, hasn't it?
Absolutely.
Competitive bass fishing.
It has, you know, and it's such a great sport, Jerry. It's just one of those sports that everybody can enjoy. It doesn't matter if you're you know, a 2 or 3-year-old kid all the way up to being, you know, 92, 93, and, you know, as long as you can get out and move a little bit, you can enjoy fishing, and it's just a great family sport. Plus,
and you can enjoy it in a lot of different ways.
That's what I was saying. It's you can take it any level you want. You can have just pure enjoyment out there, or you can get out there and take it real serious and get competitive, and it's one of the toughest competitive sports out there.
And I'm really glad he said the 92-year-old guys could, because, you know, that starts getting into my age.
Well, now, you got a ways to go before you're 92. This type of fishing, this sight fishing, Shaw, is this one of the styles you enjoy a lot?
Absolutely, I enjoy them. You know, I enjoy catching fish, and if I can see them, it just makes it that much more. You're kind of combining hunting and fishing and looking for them, and then, of course, presenting the bait and getting them excited, and getting them, you know, watching them eat the bait is really incredible. That's kind of, you know, if you watch any of the infomercials on TV, what really gets you excited is the strike shots, you know. That's what we get to see when you're sight fishing. You actually get to see the strikes, and that's fun.
All right.
Hey, Shaw, what would you say? You probably need a little time to think about this, but you don't have any time to think about it.
Thanks, Jerry.
What would you think that a non-boater or anybody you go fishing with that tries to sight fishing, what's one of the major mistakes that they make?
Probably going too fast.
Too fast.
Yeah, you know, most of these fish don't hit on the first cast, so it's one of those things where, you know, you go along, you make a cast or two, and you blow past the fish rather than hanging in on it and really working it and getting the fish excited. But in the springtime, everything's a little bit slower, so you really do have to take some time.
How long would you spend on a 2.5-pound bass, and how long would you spend on a 6.5-pound bass right now?
Right now, I'd spend any time on both because I'm dying.
That's a fish after my bait.
Huh? That may be what Brant Peoples and Carl Sweebeck have been saying, too. They've been dying all day, but now, well, Brantley may have a little something going.
Hold on to it. Hold on to it.
Come on back, baby.
Easy.
Come on back. Come on back.
Just easy. He's a good one.
Come on back, baby.
Just work him on. Just get him tired. Get him.
Come on back, baby.
All right. Good job, man.
Thank you, partner.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Great.
Thank you.
Man, that's a good. Hold that guy up there. All right. Super job.
That's what fishing is about right there.
That is what it's all about.
Thank you, partner. Thank you.
Good job.
Nice one. Nice.
Isn't that neat where they follow the bait up? You actually saw that fish
Yeah, he
before
came
it
up.
bit. Yeah.
He wasn't close. He came up right out here, and I saw him, and I stopped the bait, and it's like that.
Yeah.
That was that.
Ah.
This wind is just a brutal thing.
Got it.
Net. Ready? Watch my rods. Just get him. Don't worry about the rod. Oh, you had him in the net.
No,
I got him out of the net. Now he's back in the net.
We're going to lose this rod yet.
Hey, little fella. Boy, you talk about it. We got the hook in the net.
I hope your battery is down on that one.
This is what's amazing. amazing. Net, net, and hook. Oh, got it. Look at this. Somebody had caught him before. That's pretty sad. That's because I hooked him right there in the top. All right, let's check this one. We're slowly but surely getting to a limit now.
Clark Winlet and David Hudson are busy this morning. They are running a good little circuit here, back and forth and back and forth. And guess what place they're getting back to right now? Just guess.
Well,
yeah, there you go.
He's going back to the plastic pipe hole.
Oh, yeah.
And you know, the good thing about these fish now is I'm sure that the second he jerked that fish out from underneath the dock, he just turned around and swam right back to his little spot. So here we go, Clark.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Got him that time.
Dead in there.
In the mouth. Woo! Good deal. I can handle that. Thanks a bunch. I appreciate it. Woo! Darn, that feels good.
The Walmart FLW Tour is brought to you by EverStart Batteries. More power for your money. By Evinrude Outboards and Electrics, the world's most refined engines. By Fuji. Get the picture with Fuji Film. And by Kellogg's, the best to you each morning.
You guys bring me some good luck, please. Get the net.
Well, all you had to do was ask. There comes his little bit of luck right there, I guess.
A little luck, but you know what? Carl is so good at throwing that wacky worm, and that's what he's doing a lot of today. You could tell he threw it over there against the bank, probably 4 or 5 feet of water, and it sunk 3 or 4 of that.
We're on the board.
And he was in business.
I tell you what. All right, we still got some work. We got time, too. We got time. All right. She's a contrary one, that's for certain. We're going to take her for a ride to Walmart and then bring her back and let her do her business.
David Dudley, fish in his viewfinder there, so we're going to take a look at what's going on. What are you trying to do now, David? What are you trying to do with that fish?
I'm trying to aggravate her into biting, and she just bit me for the 4th time. A lot of times when they're on the bed, you have to, they're guarding the nest is what they're doing. They're guarding eggs, and what you have to do is just really aggravate them and make the bait seem like it's eating their eggs. And it's a real fine spot. Once you find the bed, it's a real distinct spot that has the eggs on it.
I mean, how big a spot are we talking about?
No, that's something I can't ever, I really don't know.
Yeah.
But a lot of what I've heard is it can be the size of a quarter, or it can be the size of a 50-cent piece. You know, the actual sweet spot on the bed. And this fish I'm fooling with now, I pretty much found the little sweet spot she's on.
How big a fish is this, David?
I'm the world's worst at judging a fish. I really don't know. I say she's over 2 pounds, maybe. I really don't know. She's about to, I'm getting ready to show you. She's going nose down on it right now.
Okay.
But,
and you're throwing a plastic crawfish?
Yes, sir. Green pumpkin crawdad.
Can you see your bait pretty well?
Yeah, I can see it plain as day right now.
Well, and of course that's really important because obviously if you can't see it very well, she'll suck it up and you won't even know it.
Exactly. That's when, you know, you just go by feel. But normally if you keep your eye on the fish, you can tell when she's nosing down on something or like.
So that gives you an indication.
I got her. I got her, boy.
Good. That away. Well, what was the move that you put on it to make her finally bite? I think he's reeling in his fish now. He's got something else to do.
Yeah,
Come on, David.
And I hope it's
You asked how big she was a little while ago.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think she's about 2 1/4.
Well,
all right. Well,
you
that
were
is great.
pretty good on that.
That is great. What was the move you put on to finally make her bite?
She kept on making big circles and coming back. And finally, I threw it past her bed. And when I threw it past her bed and she faced the direction that my crawdad was, I moved the crawdad straight at her face. And I reckon she thought she was coming at, he didn't see her or whatever, and she ate it right up.
It was a self-defense mechanism then, huh?
Yeah.
All right.
Hey, well, David, one more thing here. We know you had a little incident this morning.
Yeah.
And we're not the kind of people that would show that to a national audience.
Nobody's going to see that. No way.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah.
David, good luck to you.
David, you have become famous. I'll just...
I kind of thought, I said, my temperature gauge, I didn't know how to turn it on, so the best way I could find out how the water was, just jump in.
Well, we appreciate the extra effort. You don't know how much we appreciate it. David Dudley from Manteo, North Carolina.
There she is. Not that big, but it's a fish.
The Walmart FLW tour stop here on Lake Murray, Columbia, South Carolina. Lots of sight fishing going on today. Mike Sermon, Troy Pickett Sermon with his catch right there.
Oh my gosh. Underneath.
Oh, my. What Mike's saying here is that that fish has accidentally been hooked, which
That was a nice one.
of course is a no-no. When you can see the fish, you can't accidentally hook it.
They're only for sight fishing.
Unbelievable.
Only sight fishing.
And the fish bit. That wasn't a snagged fish.
Bit had that thing by the tail, most likely.
And you know, they sometimes can actually bite at the bait and miss it, you know, swirl around and actually get hooked in the side. And that's okay, again, as long as they're not sight fishing.
That's not what they said.
Well, they're talking about it now.
Right.
It's the reason they have the rule is because in sight fishing, I guess it's
Totally
possible the
by
fish
feel.
will stay there long enough
There's
for
no
you to
way,
snag
you
him
know,
if you
but-
were going to intentionally try
Right.
to snag him. That was not Mike's intention here.
No, it wasn't. And you know, they seem to be a little confused
Well,
with,
I guess I should have put it in there.
with what's going on here. Maybe Mike wasn't illegal with what he did. It was a legal catch.
Where there's a question about that right there, you got to go that way, don't you?
Yeah. I mean, you're right. I probably could have gone in and discussed it with him, explained to him what happened, and it's probably a legal fish. But we'll catch another one here in a minute bigger than that one.
Mike Sermon doing his best to make it into the final 5 who fish for the championship tomorrow. Remember, we have 5 boats today that we are not covering.
So, you know, it's really in doubt yet, even though our 5 guys are doing pretty good, who's going to be in the final. Tommy, I can't quit thinking about that catch of Mike Sermon's there. What a sportsman to turn that fish loose when there was some definite doubt that he didn't have to do that. And you know what? I think all these guys would do that. Every one of them.
Just right there.
Every one of the fishermen we get involved with are tremendous sportsmen.
Woo! That's number 5.
In the mouth.
In the mouth.
Thank you.
Good job.
Thank you. Let's catch this other one.
All right.
What color tube you got on?
White one.
All right.
Woo! 5+.
5.5, probably. Mwah. Wow, that was awesome. Awesome. I got that bait over there. Fish wasn't paying any attention to it and just kind of hopped and she bit it. All right.
Good job, man.
Thanks.
All right, Clark Winlet is watching what's going on with David Hudson in the back of the boat there.
And you know what? Before you even get to talking to him, let me go out on the limb here and say that Clark might be the best fisherman in the country right now.
Well, I tell you what, one thing I do know for sure, if these guys are waiting for Clark Winlet to let up, they're going to wait forever.
Man,
because,
he is
man,
so consistent.
he is so tough and just great every time. But what's happening in the back of the boat right now, Clark?
Well, we got a fish that's on a bed, and it's about a 2.5 pounder, it looks like, and it's biting. It bites just about every cast. It's about to bite right now. But the fish is just, you know, striking short, so.
What's he throwing at it, Clark?
We're throwing a white gambler tube at him right now.
And I guess, do you sometimes throw that white bait so you can see it a little better?
Right, I just like a bait that you can see, so when the, oh, he got him.
All right, David. What'd you do to make him finally get it, David?
Take it easy with him. Oh, man. I tried.
Oh. Oh, man.
All right. Thank you, man.
Good deal.
All right,
Okay.
they got him. Hey, David.
Yeah.
What did you do to make that fish bite at last?
I just kept throwing at it, and it finally took it. It was really mad, and it finally took it.
All right. Well, what's been the secret for you all week, Clark? Getting your fish. Of course, you've been, I guess, mostly sight fishing. Are we correct in assuming that?
It was mostly sight fishing. I've caught a few on a floating worm, but you know, the key for me has really been I came here knowing that that the fish were going to be spawning the March full moon on any lake in the south. They're going to be spawning on. So, you know, I just went and looked for a lot of fish and found quite a few, and I've been a little bit fortunate and found some of the right fish. And you know, hopefully, I've got about 18.5 pounds now, and don't know whether to catch any more or not. But I think I may catch just a couple more.
Swing and a miss. Steer right one. Oh, that was him. Doggone it. Did he rock and roll me or what? Wahoo! That's a good fish. Golly.
All right, just leave it right there. All right, now move it a little bit. Move it a little bit more.
Walmart FLW Tour. This is third day action. Lake Murray, Columbia, South Carolina. Most of the pros are following, but they have their limits. So now they're setting their sights on getting those co-anglers in the back of the boat there.
Come on.
Some fish to take to the weigh-in.
All right, hold right there. Move it a little bit. Here. That on. He's been throwing a lizard in there, and she hasn't been really paying attention to the lizard, and scoot it just a little bit more. All right. Scoot it a little bit more. A little bit more. A little bit more. Oh, yeah! You got her?
Yep.
Hey, not only does he swim well, he's a good guide, too, huh? David Dudley.
Seemed really legitimately happy that this guy's catching these fish. And this kind of angling is tough on the guy in the back of the boat, Tom, because the front of the boat is pointed right at the
Don't give her
fish,
too much slack.
And that guy on the trolling motor is going to get first cast in the best position every single time. So it's kind of tough on the non-boat.
Nope.
Gary Henry with a good catch.
Thank you, David.
That fish right there was trying, he'd get her to look at a lizard, but I gave him that crawdad I've been throwing, and she really didn't like it.
That'll help.
David Dudley did a great job there.
Hold on.
Let's see what kind of a
When you're
coach, what
hopping,
kind of
you're hopping
guiding
too
Clark
fast
Winlet
right
can
now.
do.
Just slow down just a little bit. You're over a limb, so you got to really ease it. Come on. All right, ho. You better get your slack in. Hop it just a little bit. Shake it. You got to shake it. It's not moving. You got to repitch it. Just real easy. All right, get ready. He got it. I'm gonna wait till the fish is ready.
Well, you know what? I really give these pros credit. They're working hard today. And yeah, I know they've already got their limit, so you might think they wouldn't be too interested. But, boy, they've worked hard for the guys in the back.
They're both pretty good-sized fish, aren't they?
Yeah.
That's what was there the other Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Wednesday it was.
That one definitely got hit finally.
Mike Sermon from Boca Raton, Florida. His previous fish possibly could have gone in the live well, but I don't think there was any way Mike was going to take that fish.
Well, and I guess he shouldn't have. It was hooked in the,
Not the big
in the
one,
side,
no.
and so yeah, they turned it loose. But I'm glad he's making up for it.
That's the male.
I know. That one's caught in the right place, too. No doubt about this one. Inside the lip.
Ate the bacon rind.
Well, what a day we've had on Lake Murray, and the folks back in town, right downtown Columbia, have a great weigh-in ready to go.
How many have we got left to go, you think, Brantley?
I think we're through.
We're through? Gil, how many have we got left to go? We still have at least 2 more anglers to go.
I'm going to the back and wait. Call me.
No, you gotta stay right here, Brantley, because now we're ready for angler in boat number 2, the guy with the second highest weight for the week. Please welcome Pat Fisher from Stone Mountain, Georgia. Come on up, Pat. Now that would scare me to death.
It didn't scare me anymore, and I'm already scared.
Oh, you were already scared. All right, you know the job to do, Pat, and it looks like you have got something that might be scary. Let's see what you've got in the beginning. 5 bass is the limit, and this is the best looking stringer I've seen to head this way. If the back weight is anything, here is fish number 1. Just keep on bringing them. We want to see every single one you've got. Here comes number 2, another good solid keeper there. All these fish alive, and we'll release them right back out to Lake Murray here in just a few minutes. Here comes number 3, another good solid keeper there. And he's got, keep reaching, keep digging. He's got more. Oh, here's number 4 right there. There is number 4, that's a beautiful fish. And if you got any more, that's it. That may be well enough. 4 fish, all alive, 9 pounds, 5 ounces, the new leader. Great job, Brantley. One guy between you and $15,000 first place prize, being crowned champion and being an automatic qualifier for the year-end championship.
I hope so. I hope I win it, but I've got one more fish catching machine behind me.
He's the guy that weighed in more fish than anybody else over the last 2 days from the back of the boat. Please welcome from Jasper, Alabama, David Hudson. Come on up, Dave. Wow, this could be interesting. 9 pounds. Don't ease away on me here. Stay real close here. Got to watch what's going on here. 9 pounds, 5 ounces. Is that what you've got? 9.5?
Yes, sir.
So you need, David, 9 pounds and 6 ounces. How many top 10s have you made so far?
This makes 6.
6 top 10s? David, what makes you so consistent from the back of the boat?
Well, I'm blessed by the Lord every day.
Every single day, and plus you know how to fish.
Well, I've been fishing a long time. My dad started taking me when I was real small. And I just try to learn something every day from these pros. And today I really learned something.
Had a good day today, and let's see exactly how good a day you had. Step over this way. We're trying to get...
They're alive.
They are alive. Step right over here. And whalemen, David, you watch real closely here. Here comes fish. There you go. Here comes fish number 1. That's a beautiful fish right there. There is number 1. That's a nice fish there. 1 fish. And here comes number 2. Another good solid fish there. Okay. All right, let's see where we're at now. We're at 5 pounds, 4 ounces, 5-4. It's getting closer. We need 4-1 to tie, 4-2 to win. Let's see what you got in the bag. That's it. 5 pounds, 4 ounces. We have a champion. Well, can you breathe?
My mouth's so dry, I can't even talk.
I just knew you had a monster in there.
Oh, I did too. When I saw one on film, and I looked and I said, well, I think that's it. And then saw the bag shaking. Oh, mercy.
You guys had a great job today. You're a great champion. Let's give another round of applause. Pat Fisher, Stone Mountain, Georgia, our co-angler champion. Thank you, Pat.
The Walmart FLW Tour is brought to you by Land O'Lakes, supporting family traditions. By Timex, it takes a licking and keeps on ticking. By Weed Eater, yards ahead, season after season. And by Wrangler, real, comfortable jeans.
Hey, we saw our co-anglers make some nice catches today, didn't we? But David Hudson's fish, a fish that he caught while we were trying hard to communicate with him and Clark Windlet, that fish takes home the Fuji Flashback prize. David's weight brought him a second-place ribbon. And how about our final 5 pros for the championship? They're 5 dandies. They start with Kobe Krieger from Osceola, Indiana. 22 pounds he caught today. Man, what a stringer of fish.
Oh, it was spectacular. It was, you know, it was really good. I got even a few fish left for tomorrow, so we're going to see what happens.
John Sappington is going to be with us next week. John's from Wyandotte, Oklahoma. Also a great catch, 20 pounds, 15 ounces. Clark Windlet, we saw him catch that string of fish. Clark's from Cedar Park, Texas. And that string weighed 19 pounds, 11 ounces. Boy, that was a good catch. Gary Klein is going to be with us. We've been with Gary before. We know what kind of fisherman he is. He's from Texas. 2 Texans in here.
I've really prided myself in being able to run the banks. I'm a visual fisherman. And, you know, I mean, I like to fish dirty waters. I like to pitch and flip and, you know, cover a lot of water. And that's all I'm doing here.
18 pounds got him in this position. And Mickey Bruce, a winner with us last year. Mickey's from Beaufort, Georgia. He had 17 pounds and 7 ounces. Now remember, they're going to all start from scratch. And we'll have a winner for you as you watch next week.
This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For more, log on to ESPN.com.
Well, welcome. It's the Walmart FLW Tour, 3rd stop of the year. We're here on Lake Murray, just outside of Columbia, South Carolina. I'm Tommy Sanders, along with Jerry McInnes here. It's championship day. 5 guys fishing for the $100,000 first prize. And don't leave your seat because, Jerry, this could be the best fishing we've ever seen in 5 years of the tour.
Isn't this something? We've had qualifying days out of this world. Yesterday was terrific. If these guys aren't in the neighborhood of 20 pounds of fish, it doesn't even turn anybody's head.
A great field of 5 fishing for the championship today as well. Kobe Krieger from Indiana, sort of a new face to us.
We had him in the top 10 a couple years ago over in Kentucky.
We've also got John Sappington from Oklahoma. Had a great year last year.
The All-American and the Bassmaster Classic. Man, this guy's pretty tough.
That's pretty good going. 3 guys in the field of 5. This is unbelievable. Who won tournaments last year here on the Walmart FLW Tour. Mickey Bruce from Beaufort, Georgia.
Won down at Lanier last year, and boy, he's a veteran. He's another tough gentleman.
Absolutely. Clark Windlet, who was the Walmart Open champion last year on Beaver Lake.
We've talked about this before. He may be the best bass fisherman in America at this time.
And one of the greatest of all time, Gary Klein, Mr. All Everything. And Gary is on his way right now. Can you hear us okay, Gary?
Yeah, I got you really good.
Are you warm enough?
Yeah, I'm ready to go.
Man, Gary, here we are in our January jackets up here. We're fishing for spring fish. Tell us a little bit about the styles that these 5 fishermen will probably use today.
Well, I know that all 5 anglers are fishing for fish that have moved up to the bank basically to nest and spawn. You know, we're fishing a man-made reservoir. It's April. Full moon is, I believe, tonight. And that's normally when your major movements occur. Yesterday, we had a real strong movement into the shallow water. You could see a lot of the big females up cruising, and this morning they ought to be locked down on all the little isolated targets, little stumps, little logs, and behind boat docks and on piling. So the techniques that the anglers are using are basically target-orientated techniques to put it right in the zone of the fish.
Jerry, you don't think this little chilly weather is going to affect it too much?
No, sir, I really don't. These fish are committed to the banks. It's going to affect the anglers more than it is the fish.
And the announcers.
And the announcers as well. Good luck to you, Gary. Stay with us. As we say, don't leave your seat. This could be some of the best fishing you've ever seen in your life. It's the Walmart FLW Tour.
Ready? I'm not going to run far.
big dam on the Saluda River just outside of Columbia, South Carolina, creates Lake Murray here. This is our impoundment, smaller than our first two so far this year on the FLW Tour. Our headquarters up at the northeast end at the Lighthouse Marina, just around the corner is Clark Wendland.
Not very far away. Hop, skip, and a jump. He's in Beards Creek as well as John Sappington. Both these guys are starting pretty close to home.
John Sappington, Wyandotte, Oklahoma. Now, Gary Klein from Weatherford, Texas, heading down to Metz Creek in a place where he spotted his fish yesterday. It's good fish. He's going to start out there.
Just after that, one fish, and right across from him will be Kobe Krieger.
Our other angler in the mix today is Mickey Bruce from Lake Lanier Country up in Georgia. Mickey's going all the way down near the dam. He's found himself a very, very windy point out there, and we're going to get our first look at what conditions are going to be like today, and that's something to contend with.
Right, and these guys are all sight fishing, but Mickey has gone to a windy bank, throwing these fish a little bit of a curveball here.
Well, let's hope this is not a striper, but it is. How about that? Had a bad feeling about that way a bit. Well, this lake is full of bass, but it's also full of stripers. I thought I'd do a little bit of something different this morning. The conditions have changed a lot, and hopefully there'll be some bass biting me in a minute.
Tommy, one reason Mickey Bruce does not scare off from an area where there's some striped bass is the stripers are there because the bait fish are there. And if the bait fish are there, then some blacks will eventually show up. Maybe this is one.
That'll help. Well, that's a good way to get the morning started. Good deal. I thought that might work this morning with a wind blowing and howling where it's been slick all week. The condition we've had most of the week has been slick, calm, and this water is extremely clear. These fish are staging up and actually trying to spawn on the side of these bars out here. And with the windy conditions this morning, enables me to throw this fast-moving bait, and the key is in clear water to keep it moving fast. The only problem is these top areas right here hold a lot of stripers also, and I just got to be patient and wade through those. And I know today from my previous experience that there's no day like today to gamble a little bit, and that's what I'm going to do. I think I can get some big bites doing this if the wind will stay up and my patience to stay with me. I've been fishing exactly the opposite. I've been fishing extremely slow with light line, and I don't think the wind's going to enable me to do that this morning.
It's the Walmart FLW Tour, and it's brought to you by Walmart. Always low prices, always. By Evan Root, Outboards and Electrics, the world's most refined engines. By Spiderline, the maximum fishing edge. And by Citgo, you know me.
And Tommy, we're going to be doing a lot of sight fishing today, and
there was this fish.
We talk about the visibility here being tough on the fishermen. Of course, it's going to be pretty tough on us today. We can't see in there like we'd love to, because every time you see a real light piece of water, there's a good chance there's a bed right there. John Sappington is fishing this particular bed.
She'd lay the eggs in there.
Gary Klein didn't think it was going to make that big a difference. I think it is.
He's acting a little bit spooky right now, but I think a lot of these fish, there's been a lot of pressure on this lake, and you know, they've definitely been hit pretty hard.
Tommy, I think you can get a good look at a bass right there.
Yeah, there he is. Yeah.
And the visibility, again, is so tough.
Yeah, we'd have done better a couple of days ago when the sun was shining and the wind wasn't blowing.
And as a matter of fact, John thought there was just one fish there when we could see that there was two fish actually there. And look here, Mickey Bruce has abandoned his windy bank already.
It didn't take him long to get out of that place.
And he's actually throwing what is called a wacky worm. And boy, he's had some great catches, some outstanding catches the last few days. And he's made them all by fishing boat docks and let that little wacky worm just drift underneath the boat docks.
Now, what do you mean by wacky worm? Is
well, it's, I guess it's called wacky worm because it's a wacky way to fish. No, it's just a straight worm.
That good, he just mean.
Hooked right in the middle, right by the egg sac, with just maybe a 2/0 straight hook. Now Mickey Bruce is
still working.
Mickey's using a little weight in the head, but
an area to cast it in this morning with all the wind and the problem. I'm gonna put him over here on the cold side. And that's a prime example there of the conditions changing. I fish this dock every day and hadn't had a bite. So maybe I can find the area that the wind is not pounding on too bad. Can't believe how mean that fish was.
Well, Mickey Bruce caught a second fish there. Maybe he's on a roll. Maybe he's found a way to catch him today. One angler we didn't introduce you to earlier. This is Kobe Krieger from Indiana. Led all the qualifiers into today's action. And today, on the final day, he's what we call our X-Man. He's the X factor. Everyone's staying away from Kobe. We'll have a weigh-in among the first 4 qualifiers. And then Kobe will be the X-Man. No one knows how many fish he's catching today. He'll be the unknown factor at the weigh-in. We'll explain that a little bit more a little bit later on. I think it's going to be an exciting way to do it.
Sunshine.
There go, there. That's a big one down there. I just seen him finally. Okay, boys. I'll play tough hardball. I'll play right along with you.
Over to Gary Klein now, who's definitely sight fishing. You mentioned earlier, Jerry, that these sight fishermen are looking for white spots on the bottom. What does that mean?
Oh, the white spots that'll stick out like a sore thumb, and these are spots where the male bass has gone in with his tail, cleared out a little area about the size of your bathroom sink, and Gary has one just in front of that stick up.
Oh, she's gonna go. I got a branch to the right that I got to pull her around, and a branch laying on the bottom on the left that I got to get her over. So I'm throwing 20 on her, and I've been throwing 10, so I don't know if that's a big difference or not.
Now, is that not a beautiful sight?
Oh, man.
Gorgeous spring day here. A little cold here in South Carolina today. But Gary's got one, okay?
Gary
he caught
has
the fish.
Coaxed that fish into hitting, and it's really interesting. It's kind of hard to explain, but someone like Gary and these other guys who really do a lot of this can tell exactly which fish will bite or won't bite.
And this right here is not the fish that's there. This right here is the buck. There's a female sitting there about 5.5 pounds, and I was watching the female, and this buck just came in and grabbed the bait. I haven't seen him the whole time I've been here, so I might be able to catch this female on the very next cast.
The psychology of these fish figured out here. We may be in for a treat, too.
And Gary's the kind of guy who changes colors a lot. Maybe all of them do, but Gary, he tries different tactics on this fish. Kobe Krieger there a minute ago was throwing a jig at his fish. Gary throws a jig a lot himself. A lot of the guys are throwing plastic, but you know what, Tommy? Something that they do a lot is throw colors that they can see, because it's as important for the fishermen to be able to see that bait as it is for a fish to be able to. I really believe that sometimes when you aggravate that fish out there around his nest, he's going to smack anything. And sometimes you can see it laying out there, and then all at once it's gone, and there's only one thing that could have happened to it. The fish swallowed it.
And when these fish are sitting paired up like this, it's real important that you don't catch the male, or sometimes if you catch the male, then the female will hang tight, and you catch the female on, you know, the series of casts after that. But a lot of times, too, when you catch the male, then the female will come out and swim out with the male and then virtually swim on down the bank or come out underneath the boat. And during the fight there, I never did see where the female went. So I have no idea if she's going to come back to this place or not. She may move on down the bank and find another male. That was a long time to sit here just to catch the small buck.
Back over to John Sappington here, who's from the Grand Lake area there in Oklahoma. Jerry, when's the last time you saw so much spinning tackle in a bass fishing tournament?
I'll bet you from time to time we're going to see every one of these guys fishing with spinning tackle, and the reasons are pretty obvious. You know, they're throwing smaller baits. I don't really know if the line size itself is any big deal, but they want to throw these little finesse worms and a wacky worm and so on, and it's difficult to throw it on 15-pound test line. So they're throwing 8, maybe even 10 at times, and are able to handle and feel their lures better.
We'll take it over now to Mickey Bruce, and Mickey Bruce has his 3rd fish on now. He's the guy in the lead. 3 fish, about 9 pounds as near as we can estimate. Gary Klein, 1 fish about 3. John Sappington, 1 fish for about 2 pounds. Clark Winlet has yet to score, so he's looking to make something happen here. But Mickey Bruce out in the lead right now. And of course, the one guy we haven't got a score on is Kobe Krieger. Kobe is going to be our X-Man today. Again, we're going to take Kobe all the way to the finals, but we're not going to see the fish he catches today, or if he even catches any fish. We are going to spend some time talking to Kobe. We'll avoid the subject of how many fish he's gotten. I think about now we've got Kobe on the line ready to go.
Hey, Kobe, tell us a little bit about your experience this week. Just how has this all come about?
Well, it's, you know, the fishing is excellent. So that, I mean, you know, because I only got a couple days of practice. I got about a day and a half of practice. So I'm real fortunate. The fish are up shallow. You know, I thought I could catch them pretty good. You know, I didn't know if I could catch them good enough to make the top 10.
Hey, and let me stop you right there. When you practice under these circumstances, do you fish a lot or do you just look?
Just do a bunch of looking. You drive down the bank with the trolling motor on high and you look and you know, you just look and see what you can find and hopefully you find a bunch of big ones and hopefully you can get them to bite when the tournament starts.
Could you remember where they were at? You know, like you go across a 6-pounder. Can you remember right where that fish is at, and 2 days from now come back and he's still there?
Yeah, pretty good. I mean, you know, you got GPSs and stuff on your boats nowadays, so if I see one that I think is a pretty good one to help me out a lot in the tournament, I'll GPS it in. It makes it a little bit easier. I don't have to remember quite as much, but you still have to remember exactly what bush or what dock post or exactly where it's at so you can get a good cast the first time.
A lot of these guys work as a team, maybe with another angler or a couple of anglers. You pretty much lone wolf it out there, so that makes it a little bit different of a situation for you, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty much out here on my own. You know, travel by myself and practice by myself. So, you know, I talk to some other competitors and stuff during practice, but I really don't know what they're doing or how everybody else is doing. So I'm just sort of on my own program, and hopefully my program pays off in the end.
Tell us a little bit about your career. Are you pretty dedicated to just being a professional bass fisherman?
Pretty much so. I mean, I haven't been home now since about October, so I've been on the road since October fishing. And, you know, it's pretty hard to hold a steady job when you're not at home. But when I do go home, I work. I got a job that I do back home, so.
What is that?
We got a family business. I do whatever my brother tells me to when I get to the shop.
All right, well, we'll find out how well he does when we get back to the weigh-in here, but not before. Kind of puts a new dimension on things here.
He is our X-Man,
our unknown factor, our X-factor, Kobe Krieger. So when we gets to the weigh-in, he's going to duel it out with the winner of our regular shootout. That's going to be something different. It's an experiment. I mean,
and our viewers are not going to know, like you and I. They're not going to know how well he's doing the day.
No one but him and his cameraman are going to
know. That's a good idea, Tommy.
Okay, I'm glad I thought of it if it works.
Hey, I'm not the best cameraman in the world by any means, but if you want this shot right here behind my shoulder, you can see the fish on the bed plain as day. You want it?
Clark Winlet trying to assure that we have a good show here.
Man, how about that? A director. Clark is a Angler of the Year / TV director.
Yeah, the only thing we need for a good show is some fish, and he's got it.
He'd do that. Well, you can just about count on that.
There's one.
Clark Winlet on the board here at Lake Murray, South Carolina. More to come on the Walmart FLW Tour right after this.
Fish is pretty ticked off right now.
Clark Winlet, our part-time TV director and, boy, full-time fisherman. There's not much this guy can't do, I'm convinced.
Well, I think he needs to stay with the fishing, because every time we look at the Angler of the Year list over the past several years, he's right in the middle of the mix. So
messed him up.
And these guys from Texas are, for some reason, it seems like they're all really good at sight fishing.
He's got one there. Is that because those lakes down there are far south enough to where they have multiple spawns and longer spawns?
Well, I think that's a lot to it, but their water clarity down there is real good, and boy, they just get into it. In February, March, and April, guys on Sam Rayburn and Toledo Bend, and boy, they're all over the sight fishing. And I bet anything that's where Clark picked a lot of that up. But did you notice every tournament we get where there's sight fishing or bedding fish, Clark Winlet is fairly close to the top.
Doing really good.
Yeah.
Clark Winlet is definitely in the thick of things here on Lake Murray in South Carolina. As we mentioned earlier, we have had a whale of a tournament here in terms of the number of fish caught and the size of those fish. Some great springtime bass fishing here on day number 1. Check this out, 8 pounds, 10 ounces, hauled in by a co-angler, Quentin Stacy of Virginia. That's our biggest one of the year out here on the tour. Day 1 saw our leader there, Carl Sweebeck, another one of these Texas guys that Jerry was talking about earlier. Had a great stringer of fish, 23 pounds, 6 ounces. That led Carl into the top 10, but he did not make the top 5. Other notables, a big money man from last year, Daryl Robertson, 33 pounds, 15 ounces. He's in 15th place. David Walker, last year's Land O'Lakes Angler of the Year, 31-12 for 29th place. Scott Martin, who won last outing down in Mississippi, 41st. Ricky Clunn in there. Roland Martin down at 101st. And another race is going on. That's the all-important race for Angler of the Year in the year 2000. That's what this week's Evan Root Insight is all about. One of the leaders right up there at the top is Stephen Browning.
Anytime you win Angler of the Year in any circuit, whether if it's your local bass club or the, the FLW Tour, you've outdone, numerous amount of other fishermen throughout the year, and it just shows that you're as consistent as you need to be able to come out on top. And it means you can walk around with your chest poked out proud for a whole year. Coming into this tournament, I think I was in 7th place and really excited about it because I haven't had a great FLW Tour career so far. So I'm hoping that once this thing is over with, I'll still be in the running for the Angler of the Year race.
Yeah, I think I was 4th coming into this tournament, but I think it's a long way to go, and there's just too many tournaments coming up. It'd be a neat award to win. I won it back in 1997, and I'd love to win it again, but it's just too early to look at that right now, I think.
Boy, I think Clark is going to be hard to beat, but Randy Howell is right on his tail. Gerald Schwindel is in 3rd place. Stephen Browning right behind, and Bernie Schultz is within shooting range.
Well, the wind continues to blow, and out to Clark Winlet. And Clark, you believe that the water's 10 degrees cooler than it was yesterday? Is that right?
It's a good bit cooler. I don't know how much difference it really makes, but the pairs just don't seem to be locked on beds. They're just cruising around, and they're just hard to catch.
Can you still see pretty good?
I can still see fairly good, but the wind's been blowing a little bit too much, so it's pretty tough.
We hear that train going by in the background. You're working on a pair right now, as we understand. You've caught the male of the pair and working on the female?
Yeah, she's kind of sitting off the bed. It's about a 4.5 or 5 pounder, but I don't know if she's gonna get up there and make it easy to catch or not.
What do you, show us exactly what you're throwing on those fish, and kind of, if you would, kind of talk us through a cast.
I'm throwing I really like a tube, and I'm throwing a 4-inch gambler tube, and I'll change baits occasionally, and I might change colors, but for the most part, I'll just stay with that bait and work the fish to however I think it needs to be worked.
How's it rigged? How are you rigging your bait?
I rig it Texas rig. I use a 4/0 owner rigging hook, which is a hook with a big bend in it. It's better for that tube. And a 1/4 ounce weight. I like a little bit heavier weight than most people.
And do you go ahead and push the hook out the tube?
Yeah, it sits out the tube and just sits right on the side of the tube.
And the second you feel any contact at all, you're probably going to jerk, aren't you?
Well, you think that, but really not. I was telling somebody yesterday I've shook off every fish I've caught in this tournament because I'm so nervous about making sure I hook them in the mouth. What happens is a lot of these fish will bite your bait, and when they bite it, they'll spit it right back out. Well, if you jerk when they spit out, then you have a good chance to hook them outside the mouth, and we've got to legally catch them all inside the mouth. So I'll shake them off until I know they've got it in the mouth. If they bite once, they'll generally bite again. Actually, this fish is about to bite my bait right here. Well, he's close to it.
All right, Clark, well, we'll keep watching here. We'd like to see him take it. Clark Wendlandt out there, man, like you say, one of the toughest ever to fish on this tour.
And boy, that's really a lot of fun for those guys when they're sighting that fish, and all of a sudden you do see a lot of white where it gets kind of up on the side, because like he said, they're just all ready to jump it when they do that.
That's a great tip. Now, I've never heard that one before. That means that that's when they're fixing to bite. You see them turn up.
Well, normally, yeah, it does.
All right, write that one down. You're watching the Walmart FLW Tour. It's brought to you by Coca-Cola. Always Coca-Cola. By Fuji. Get the picture with Fuji Film. By Kellogg's Best to You each morning. And by Land O'Lakes, supporting family traditions.
Mickey Bruce trying to run away with this thing. 12 pounds already. Clark's only got half that much, 6 pounds. John Sappington is about the middle of the pack right now. But if he lands this fish, things might get a little better for him. Gary Klein needs things to get a lot better for him, Tommy. And we're not going to look in on Kobe Krieger quite yet.
No, Kobe, he could have 22 pounds by now. He could have goose egg, but we're not supposed to know.
No, we're not going to peek at all, are we?
No, hey, all will be revealed at the weigh-in.
You might be wondering what happens to a lot of these fish right here. Boy, they take such great care of them, get them right back out into the lake, and the Fish and Game Commission assures us that these fish will still spawn.
Well, as the day moves on, we have to come back and get ready for the weigh-in, and we finally caught up with Gary Klein. And Gary, what a difference a day makes, huh?
Oh, without a doubt. God, it's just a beautiful day out here today. The wind is kind of rotated, you know. Oh, shifted direction. I just missed the toad. Hang on. But anyhow, the wind is shifted directions on us, and, you know, some of the water that I was fishing yesterday, the fish aren't set up on. So I'm kind of just running some new water right now, but this is a good time of the afternoon, so it's going to be real interesting here to see just what in the world I can catch.
Well, Gary, you know, you got a couple hours yet, and I'm kind of interested in knowing what an old veteran like yourself, what starts going through your mind at this point in the contest, and you know, just how are you going to handle those 2 hours?
Well, I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. You know, I enjoy fishing the way I'm fishing. I've got a fish here that I should be able to catch here shortly. And I'm just going to continue to fish. I find the right fish, I can pop me a big bag real quick. So I'm not going to change things at all. I'm out here having a great time, qualified in the top 5, feel really comfortable about that, and whatever happens, happens.
Gary, and you talked to us yesterday about the fact that you're fishing a little bit different than everybody else, not necessarily on a bed, but kind of in that area.
Well, what's taking place here at this particular time of the year, you know, it's April. We're fishing a man-made reservoir, and full moon will actually be tomorrow. And what's happened is we've had just a major move of fish up into the shallows to nest, to lay their eggs. And a lot of these fish have not started building their nest yet, so they're sitting around little isolated targets, be it boat docks, brush piles, stumps. So I'm really looking in a lot of out-of-the-way places trying to find some of these staging fish.
Gary Klein, are you getting better all the time? I mean, you've been around for a while, but I tell you what, you seem to know more every time we talk to you. Did the learning process ever stop?
No, it never stops. And, you know, I'm here because I truly enjoy to fish. And, you know, every fish is a challenge to me, and, God, what a great sport.
All right, Gary, well, good luck to you.
Gary, if it's any consolation to you at all, we're at the trout pond here, and they're not biting real good at the trout pond either.
Good deal. One of these days, Jerry, you and I are going to go trout fishing.
You betcha. I'm going to take you up on that.
Love to. There she is, Nat. She doesn't even know she's hooked yet.
Persistence pays off. Did you hear him call for the net there? That was pretty good. Nobody's going to be there to hand it to him.
Boy,
today.
this is where the old pro's going to come through here. You watch him handle his boat and handle that rod and catch this fish. He will never let that fish put a lot of pressure on his line. Will just use his rod perfectly. This is a big fish, man.
Light line, so he's got to be really careful, right?
Yeah! That one right there is worth waiting on. There's me a toad. Isn't that a beautiful fish? Yeah. I just had to keep aggravating her. Finally, she was starting to tell me that she wanted to go for it. I'm going to just keep burning the banks. What else can I say? I'm going to try to find me another one that I think I can catch. It just takes a little bit of time. I'm not out of this thing yet. It's amazing the momentum lift, too. You finally get one of these things to bite. You notice all the different lures that I was using on that fish and different colors and everything. Every time I would change, he would react just a little bit different.
Patience was productive for Gary Klein. In about a 3-minute span, he has re-entered this tournament, re-entered it in a big way. Welcome back. It's the Walmart FLW Tour stop on Lake Murray in South Carolina, and our competitors are moving closer together. It's really, really a great horse race now, Jerry.
Yeah, Clark's got a, woo. He's swimming a worm, actually. And he probably saw a fish right there. He's not sight fishing, but he probably saw a fish. He's got to put one in the boat to catch up with Gary Klein now.
Right behind the bay. Dog it. Oh, thank you, Lord. Woo! That's a good one. Fish just kept coming slowly after that bait, and darn if it didn't get hooked. I saw it flare its mouth on it. Man, that's a nice fish. Woo! Oh, maybe.
No maybe about it. Clark Winlet and Gary Klein going toe-to-toe here in the late innings, Jerry.
It wouldn't be fun if they actually knew what each other was doing. No, maybe not. Maybe it's better that they don't.
Another good one. I can never figure out exactly how that fish wanted that lure. And the only thing that I could figure is that I was throwing at the fish. And that's not the right thing to be doing. So I left, and then I returned and threw back where I thought the fish wanted to be. And that's what got the bite.
Sounds like a heavy-duty tip, Jerry, but I'm not sure I understand it.
Well, you know, he's seeing the fish, and he's saying, and you can get caught up in this, throwing right where the fish is at. And instead of doing that, he started throwing at the bed or throwing to the place where he thought the fish would come to, and that is what worked. And, boy, these two guys are going head-to-head. Gary picked up the pace, and now here comes Clark.
Yeah, catching one off a boat dock. There are plenty of them on Lake Murray. In fact, last year's tournament was one around a boat dock, and Clark sort of anchored himself to one today.
Yeah, he put his foot up on the dock there, which is perfectly legal, and kind of steadied himself in the wind. Gary Klein at times actually anchors his boat around the docks.
Well, another good keeper there for Clark Winlet from Cedar Park, Texas, winner of $150,000 last year at the Walmart Open on Beaver Lake. The fishing conditions very similar to what they are here at Murray. And there he is, your leader so far, unofficially. Clark Winlet, 4 fish, 14 pounds, Gary Klein just a shade behind. This is a great race. Mickey Bruce is right in there, 4 fish and 12 pounds. John Sappington a little ways behind, and Kobe Krieger, well, we'll find out about him at the weigh-in. And, folks, it's just about weigh-in time.
Clark having weighed in 3 fish so far, around to Mickey Bruce. He's weighed in 2 so far, and Mickey needs 4 pounds, 12 ounces. 412 in order to take over the lead. Stick around, stay in the game. That's what it's all about.
Tougher to stay in here, isn't it?
Stakes are moving up, Mickey. Here's one.
It's an expensive
Beautiful
game.
fish there, but that won't do it. That fish weighs, let's see, 2.7. And so that's a better fish there. This should do it.
Looking for 412.
2 more keepers. A total of 4 for Mickey. Is that right?
Weighed in for Mickey.
These 2 fish weigh 5 pounds, 12 ounces.
All right, Mickey Bruce, there he is, still in the thing. And to Gary Klein, the number is 3 pounds, 12 ounces. Gary, 312. In order to stay in it, Gary Klein from Weatherford, Texas, a man who has achieved it all in the world of bass fishing. Like to have
Gary Klein, got to have 3 pounds, 12 ounces to take over the lead. He won at Memphis, Tennessee. Wow.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness.
That'll do it.
That's what the people came to see.
Woo! That is one beautiful fish.
Yeah, it took me a little while to catch her, but she sure was, it was sure a fun fight.
Let's see what this fish weighs.
Boy, that's a nice one. Golly.
Check this weight, Tommy.
Oh, my goodness.
One fish, 7 pounds, 2 ounces.
Let's hear it for Gary Klein. What a job by Gary. Gary Klein's weighed in 3 fish now, so let's keep track of how many fish. So has John Sappington. And, John, you got to come up with 5 pounds, 5 ounces. Is that all there is? John says he's out. Let's have a big hand for John Sappington. What a great effort. All week long, John. Congratulations, first time in the top 10. You parlayed that into a top 5. I know you wanted to win badly, but what a great week it has been for you.
Oh, I've had a great week. After yesterday, if I was going to bet anybody, I thought it'd be me. I really thought I could catch him. And the wind changed directions today, and I didn't adapt quick enough. The wind was blowing in on my area, and I didn't know exactly where the beds were, and I really couldn't fish the fish. But I saw probably 6 fish over 7 pounds today, and I was in the right area. I just didn't adapt.
All right, John Sappington, let's have a big hand for this young man. Fish from the back of the boat here on the tour and made it to the front, and what a big splash he has made here in South Carolina. Coming up next, Clark Wendlandt. Clark Wendlandt has got to have 4 pounds, 9 ounces. 4'9", Clark, in order to take the lead from Gary Klein.
He's reaching.
Gary's sitting at 13.3 right now. Wow. Ooh. 4'9", that could be the one. You never know.
Another
very
beautiful,
nice.
Big fish.
Very nice.
This fish weighs in at 5 pounds, 11 ounces.
5'11" for Clark Wendlandt. He's still in a man. Getting to be a more expensive game all the time. Over to Mickey Bruce now. 4 pounds, 11 ounces, Mickey. You got to have 4'11" to stay in this thing. Mickey so far has weighed in 3 fish. Excuse me, he's weighed in 4 fish. Can't wait to see it. 4'11's what we're looking for from our champion from Lake Lanier.
It is a limit fish here, but this one is 3 pounds, 5 ounces, not quite enough.
Not enough. Let's have a big hand for Mickey. Clark Wendlandt in the lead with 14 pounds, 6 ounces. We're battling for the right to go up against our X-Man over here, Kobe Krieger. Gary Klein has weighed in 3 fish so far. So, Gary, it's going to take 1 pound, 4 ounces, no fish. Really? Really? Man, let's hear it for Gary Klein. Man, he's one of the greats of all time. Gary, I think the lack of fish today on your part was not due to a lack of confidence. I don't think you're normally very confident. You know exactly what you're doing at all times out there, but I've never seen you as confident as you were this week.
Oh, yeah, it's like I said yesterday. This is really a cat and mouse game with the format of the event, and I really went out today feeling that I thought a 23 to 28-pound stringer could win this thing. So I really just focused on my better quality fish, and of course the wind eliminated some of those areas. So I had to go look, and I did find that 7, and actually got the bite while I was talking to y'all on the phone this afternoon. But I passed up a lot of fish, and by looking at the weights right now, I just think that all those fish that I passed up are going to come back to haunt me.
Oh, they will come back to haunt you. As we send him off, obviously the man who is going to do battle with the X-Man, Kobe Krieger, is Clark Wendlandt. We got to see how much ammo he's going to have in that battle because Clark has only weighed in 4 fish so far. We need to see how many more you got. That's it. So he's going to take himself into battle with 14 pounds, 6 ounces. We're going to pair up Clark Wendlandt against Kobe Krieger. No one knows what he's got. What a moment it will be. The winner will win $100,000. And we'll take a look at the fish right after this. Here in South Carolina, Columbia, Lexington area, Lake Murray country, we've just had a shootout. 4 of the best anglers in the world going for the right to really shoot it out with our X-Man, our top qualifier from the first 3 days of fishing here in this Walmart FLW tour stop, Kobe Krieger. The winner was Clark Wendlandt in the shootout. He's got 14 pounds, 6 ounces to beat him. Well, Kobe Krieger needs 14 pounds, 7. We're going to see what he's got right now. Kobe Krieger. You ready for this, Clark?
I'm nervous as I can be, I got to tell you that.
Yep. None of us knows what we're about to see here, but we're going to see them all. 14 pounds, 7 ounces is what Kobe is shooting for.
Tommy is right. However many fish Kobe has caught, we're going to watch each one of them caught. And our coverage takes us back to morning competitions where Kobe is, you guessed it, sight fishing.
I think I'm going to catch this one.
Sight fishing.
I better get my net
We
ready.
pretty much know he has 1 fish, but does he have enough to beat 14 pounds and 6 ounces?
Come on. Come on. Come on, get up there. He's sitting right there. There it is.
$14 pounds, 7 ounces is what Kobe is shooting for in order to win the $100,000
Here is fish number
first prize.
1. Let's check the weight on that one right there, Kobe. This one fish weighs 3 pounds, 11 ounces. All right. He's reaching for 2, number 2.
All right.
Oh, where's your tail at? Where's your tail at? There it is. I think that's him.
Kobe's fishing actually a fairly heavy jig with a frog trailer. He's working on him, isn't he? We almost had to penalize him earlier for singing on camera. But now he is certainly talking to the fish.
Too much, too much. Oh, God. Come on, get up there. There he is. Get it. Come on. There he is.
Another beautiful fish there. We have 2 fish now. The total of the 2, 7 pounds, 1 ounce for 2. Reaching for number 3.
Hey, we have Clark Wendlandt sweating it, don't we?
Hey, little boy.
2 fish for Kobe.
I have no idea if this thing bites, how I'm going to get it in. I got this massive brush pile. Oh, he's on my jig. Between me and this fish. If I get this buck, should be able to come back in a little while and get the female. Because she should come on the thing and be sort of aggressive at stuff, trying to keep things away from the bed. Ooh, thought he was going to take it there. He got it. Did you see him take it? Did you see him have it in his mouth? Did you get that? Oh. Yeah, there's 3 little white rocks there. Right, white rocks. There's 3 white rocks right there. He had in his mouth, but he just barely picked it up. I mean, I was trying to get him to eat it. I let him run with it a little bit, and the worst thing you can do is set the hook when he's coming at you, and exactly what I did. There he is.
Here is fish number 3. Not quite so big.
No, not quite so big.
3 fish. We have 3 fish. Hold on just 1 second. 3 fish that weigh a total of 9 pounds so far. That must be it.
That's it. All right, your champion then, Clark Wendlandt from Cedar Park, Texas. What a win for a man who is a great champion. Kobe, we'll talk to you in just a minute here. Man, every time we come out, let's step right to the middle here, Clark, so everyone can get a good look. Every time we come out, he gains a reputation as being the toughest guy to beat out here in the Walmart FLW Tour. Our leader now towards the Angler of the Year, and another win in as many years. I don't know how much better you're going to get, but I'd like to stick around and see.
Oh, this is so neat, Charlie. Tommy, I can't even tell you. I'm at a lake with I know a lot of people around here. I've got some great friends, and I got to sight fish the entire tournament. It's just as special as it could be. I'd like my wife to come up here if she's wife and kids, because without them, I had no chance out here, and they're with me every step of the way, and I just love them to death and want them to be up here too.
We asked all our anglers last night when we were doing some little there they are right now. Big hand for the whole Wendlandt crew here, because nobody does it alone. That's for dang sure. We asked our anglers what great to see you again, what their inspiration was throughout their fishing career, and Clark said it's no question about it. Having the family, his wife and kids out with him on the road, it's what provides him with all the inspiration he needs.
No doubt about it. If they couldn't be out here, there's no way I could do what I do today, and I'm just very thankful for that.
The Walmart FLW Tour is brought to you by U.S. Bank and Visa. It's everywhere you want to be. The Visa $2 Million Challenge. Go to www.flwtour.com for details. By Timex. It takes a licking and keeps on ticking. And by Wrangler. Real, comfortable jeans.
The Fuji flashback goes back to yesterday for a move that David Dudley made that you have to see.
Tell us something about how you fished all week, those great stringers, and finally this win.
You know, all week I sight fished. I caught 2 fish all week. The big one I caught today and the big one I caught the first day on a Gambler floating worm. The ones I was catching sight fishing were on a tube, and, you know, that's just like Gary said, you got to learn the personality of the fish to be able to catch it. But those 2 fish on the floating worm, you know, that fish I had coming today, I saw it coming. It came a long way, and it kept coming, and I kept thinking, please bite that thing. And it sank all the way to the bottom, and the fish is just sitting there, and I'm thinking, there's no way it's going to bite. I hop it up one time, he goes up there, and he eats it, and I'm absolutely just about died. You know, Davey Hite taught me about a floating worm, and he's a guy that fishes here and a great friend, and I owe a lot to him for that.
This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For more, log on to ESPN.com, part of Go Network, go.com.